India has rewritten history. Indian women's cricket team have written history today, and well, we're here to celebrate them and a lot more. 50 years, the Indian women's cricket team has taken 50 years to finally bring the cup home. Well, 50 years, at least it's not, one would say that the wait has been fruitful, because the way and manner with which they won the match was certainly one for the books. 50 years on, and here the Indian women's cricket team have brought the cup home. India are world champions in women's cricket. In front of the roaring DY Patil crowd in Navi Mumbai, the women in blue crushed South Africa by 52 runs to lift their maiden ICC Women's World Cup. Shafali Verma, unstoppable with the bat and ball, was named player of the match, with Deepti Sharma's 5-wicket haul sealed the dream for them. From cricketing icons to Bollywood stars, social media really erupted in celebration. You had all the stars there wishing them, uniting in this moment of national pride. Even abroad, we saw similar congratulatory messages coming in, and also some observations. If I could take you through South African actress Thanja, her name is, she put out an emotional video where she praised India for the victory. Also at the same time, slammed her own country, South Africa, for their silence. She says, while Sachin, Tendulkar, Rohit Sharma, the great cricketing icons, showed up at the stadium to cheer for their women, South Africa, none of the icons showed up, not even the Minister of Sport. Here's what she said.
India, you win this World Cup. Your congratulations is coming. Just give me a few minutes. Because first, I'm going to tell you why. The reason? You. Each and every single one of you, that is the reason. This whole few days, this whole week even before the Australia thing, you guys had that belief. It was probably in the streets. It was all over India. It was the belief. Today, you've got Sachin Tendulkar, you've got Rohit Sharma. I think I even saw VVS Laxman. Who the hell showed up from South Africa? These ex-cricket players that you love from South Africa, the men, where were they? Oh, this event was not high profile enough for them. No, nobody showed up. I don't even think our Minister of Sport was there. You're gating again.
Well, there you have it. The lady there, South African actress, she's also a cricket connoisseur or cricket expert, I could say, who's been observing the Indian cricket team and cricketers world over. She condemns her own country, the South Africa, for not cheering for their women's team the way they should have, the way India did. But let me tell you, behind the victory here for India lies a saga of struggle. From Diana Edulji to Mithili Raj, generations of women have carried the burden of invisibility, pushing through poor facilities, no contracts, empty stands. The 1978 Women's World Cup that was hosted by India came and went almost unnoticed. The men hadn't even played their first World Cup at that point. Women were the pioneers, but were unnoticed. Thankfully today, that changes. Women's cricket only came under the BCCI in 2006. The progress since then has been slow and steady. Jaisha and his leadership in 2019, at that point, they introduced some level of equality. First of all, women's cricket team was brought into the BCCI's fold, and then by 2022, there was talk on pay parity. Match fees was made equal, 15 lakhs for a test, 6 lakh for an ODI and 3 lakh for a T20I. That's for men and women equal. But what we do know is there's still a lot of struggle. Women have now just come into the limelight, but the annual contracts of Indian women's cricket team still tells another story altogether. The men's team earn in crores, women's top tier earn just a fraction of it. The game may finally be equal, but the pace still isn't. We're hoping that changes today on. After heartbreaks in 2005 and 2017, this victory for the women here is more than redemption. It's certainly a revolution, because imagine the number of women they're motivating and the icons that they've become for so many girls who want to take up cricket in India. BCCI Secretary Devjit Saikia has announced 51 crores for the World Cup winning team as a reward, a landmark recognition certainly. In fact, this raises a lot of questions now on what next for the Indian women's cricket team in India. Has India's women's cricket truly shattered the glass ceiling, or they've just cracked it open? There's a long way to go. Let me bring in Neeru Bhatia, senior sports journalist, Mahavir Rawat, senior sports journalist, and Dilip Cherian, founder Perfect Relations, brand guru. Thanks very much, all of you, for joining us. The lady in the house, Neeru Bhatia, your take first. We were keeping our fingers crossed. We really, cheered for the Indian cricket team, the women's cricket team. The last show that we did here, that was just on Friday. Today we're here talking about their victory and how this has just changed a lot more. Maybe you can list it out on what this really means. It's not just any other victory for us.
Hi, thanks for having me on board. Yes, we did discuss what a win would mean to Indian women's cricket and to the Indian women's cricket team, the women cricketers at home. But yeah, as you said, it's all started. Deepti Sharma, I believe, has already been offered a job as Deputy Superintendent of Police in her state, UP. There's a a windfall of 51 crores from the BCCI for the women's cricket team and the support staff and the selectors. But having said that, the 51 crores is nearly half of what the men's team got as cash rewards and the support staff did when they won the T20 World Cup. So yes, there's still a long way to go, but this is just the beginning. And we think and we hope that things will only get better and better as they have been doing slowly and steadily. There have been better facilities for training. They're getting better team management in terms of support staff. They've been getting more exposure. They've been playing extremely well. So yes, things are improving, but it'll take time to really say that they are at par with the boys as far as treatment is concerned.
So you're saying 51 crores is half or less than half?
I think they got over 100 crores for the T20 World Cup winning team, and the support staff and the selectors included.
Okay, so then we do have a long way to go. Why is that disparity? Maybe our sports journalist Mahavir Rawat could give us a little sense on that. It's more than double what the men's cricket team got. Our Indian women's cricket team really struggled, 50 years, and they've really shown the way. They've broken every ceiling that there is to come here today, and the reward is great. 51 crores or 50 crores is great. We're not condemning that, but just like ma'am said, if the men's cricket team could have been awarded twice the amount, then why not the women? Is it because of the sponsors? Is it because just the way the game is looked at on the whole?
If Neeru ma'am can't put a perspective to that, I'm sure I don't have enough words to put. It's very nice to have so many senior people on the panel. Firstly, why do we always have to compare with men? Let's understand, why do we have to compare? This is the money that they have given to the men. But let's understand that BCCI has taken women's cricket from 2006, and before that they were played under different umbrellas, different organizations. And from 2006, they have, BCCI has taken it under them, and they are planning, and from 2006 to 2025, I think we have made a very good progress. So let's not compare with men. I've been saying since morning that some people are comparing it with 1983 World Cup. Some are comparing with 2011 World Cup. Now it's the same thing that, why is the Shah Rukh Khan paid more than a Deepika Padukone? Because it's the blockbuster. It's that the money that they are.
I would still ask why.
Why? Because
why not?
I'll tell you why. This 51 crores has come in the BCCI because of men's cricket. I may be sounding very odd on the panel. Is that the BCCI has got a lot of money? I understand, but where is the money coming from? The money is coming from the men's cricket
is a money spinner. And therefore,
I'm not justifying what BCCI is doing. Firstly, I'm not justifying.
Just because the men are bringing in the money doesn't mean that the BCCI doesn't spend it equally or
because it is a private body. It is not a national body where a gold medalist gets the same money, whether it's a male or a female. A gold medalist is a gold medalist, and they are given 6 crores by the government. So I understand that perspective. But since it is a BCCI, and it is not right, what I am saying is I am not justifying that they are given 51 crores. I am just saying that most of the money that is coming to the BCCI is coming through leagues, through IPL, is coming through all the cricket that is being played by male, all the rights that are being sold by male cricket, not by female cricket. So, and I started my discussion saying that I don't want to compare myself by saying that, men are getting this, men have done this, men have done this. We have done amazingly well. And I'm so happy when I saw the pictures that, they have not forgotten the heroes, Jhulan Goswami was there, Mithali Raj was there, Anjum
Win,
Chopra was there.
it's a first significant win, and you had all of
they
them
were
coming
on the
to cheer.
broadcast duties, but they were still seen enjoying.
Mahavir, I suppose there's a problem with your connection. We're going to fix that in the moment. Dilip Cherian, who's a brand guru, who could possibly tell us what changes for these, what really changes henceforth for these women.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
A World Cup win changes everything. If you look at the history of cricket, if you look at how India has progressed, I think we are a nation that loves our heroes. And our heroes must win in the end, and that is what matters to our people. If you see the numbers of people who were actually watching the match, that is a huge show of strength, and it showed that the branding of women's cricket is going to be something that's very strong. We have real heroes. I don't want even to call them heroines, because they've proven themselves in a world-class match, and that shows that that brand is just going to get stronger. Comparing with men, saying more should be done is all, the routine business wanting to prove some points. I think what we need to understand is that companies, brands, endorsements, brand ambassadorships, all of this is going to come to these cricketing brilliant performers. And performance is what matters. If they win and keep winning, they will be favorites. And unfortunately, in a sport, there's always some wins and some losses. But in a country where cricket is the main religion, I think winning consistently will matter. And this team seems to have everything to make it happen. And therefore, I mean, from a brand perspective, I see this as a win-win. And I'm glad that you already have news coming in, not just of cash prizes, but also of jobs and all kinds of other offers.
Yeah.
So that's
I saw some advertisements already. You had Surf Excel associating with Jemima, Daag Achhe Hai, and whatnot. So brands are already trickling in.
That is what will make the difference.
Yeah.
That is what will make the difference.
Lovely. I mean, we're so proud. It makes me feel so happy. But I can't help but ask, and Mahavir, as much as you say that, it shouldn't really matter, look at it individually, I surely will say that inequality still stings. Even if you make that comparison of Shah Rukh Khan and Deepika Padukone, why is Shah Rukh paid more than Deepika? It still stings. As much as we've internalized it and now accepted it, because there's no choice. But it stings, that you can't remove that away from the women. It stings for the fact because they put probably double the amount of effort to get where they are.
No. Why should it? I don't understand. Why is this comparison with me? Let's understand that I gave a wrong example of Bollywood, because at the end it's a business. When Shah Rukh Khan movie opens, it's guarantees you a certain amount of money.
But for that, you got to nurture okay, my only limited question here, Mahavir, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying, but men's cricket has been nurtured. It had the selection process is streamlined. The selection process is streamlined. The way the cricketers are groomed is of a different level. Why wasn't that treatment given to the women's cricket team? Maybe then they would have also been a money spinner.
Now you have asked a question which is way out of my syllabus. It is because
you said accept the fact that focus wasn't put there.
No, so let's accept the fact that tomorrow if men stop playing cricket, how many cricketers would still go and watch women's cricket? I'm just
That's because it's you who have exactly made it that way, right? Had y'all shaped the women's cricket team the way y'all have shaped the men's cricket team, things would have been equal.
If you want to live in an ideal world, and say that women's cricket is doing exceptionally well, and they can survive without
it's coming down to Mahavir saying that men and women are not equal. Let's face it. You're
They are
just
not
coming
equal.
down to that.
But why do they have to be equal is all I'm asking. They are playing the great cricket. They have won a World Cup. They are doing great thing. And the best thing that they are doing is they are giving hope. They are giving hope to all the youngsters, all the girls. And just as in 2017, Jamima was a teenager and then went on to become a World Cup winner. I'm sure there is a 17 or 16-year-old female who would again in 2032 would go again and become a winner. So that's a very different thing that we are comparing being a hero of the
But
society.
we just don't
everything.
want in 2032 for the figures to be 50 crores versus 100 crores. At least at 2030 we want it to be equal.
You can keep on arguing in the studio, but I don't think so.
You're saying you're saying we won't reach there ever.
No, I am saying you can even argue in the studio, and even if they give you 150 crores to women's, if comparing women cricket with men's cricket, I think we are in a we are in a two different worlds.
Okay, well, you can't compare women's cricket to men's cricket. In that case,
Exactly.
every profession,
After 10 days, where will the sponsors go? Where will the Surf Excel go? Where will the Rexona go? Where will all the sponsors go? After 10 days, you will not see any female cricketer apart from Smriti Mandhana.
Okay,
or
are you
Harmanpreet
saying, at
there.
least, for the sake of our women on the panel, myself and who are watching, is it only cricket or is it every sport that is male dominated?
Because cricket is a private body. Every sport, it's a government's duty to improve your sport. So when a Neeraj Chopra wins a gold medal or a Manu Bhakar wins a gold medal, the prize money given to them is similar. The treatment given to them is similar. Let's understand where everything is coming from. And you said about two women in the panel, at least one Neeruji I know very of the last 15 years, and I salute to whatever she has done to women as a sports journalist. We'll still learn a lot of things from her. But even if today, if you tell me that women's cricket will survive in this country if tomorrow men's cricket does stops it, I don't think it is going to make sense. It's these cricketers who have made it popular, and the women are catching up. All I am saying is just stop comparing men with women.
You know,
We are doing very well.
this is like my grandfather would tell me that, you know, don't compare yourself with your brother.
Maybe
Don't compare
today we need
yourself
more
with your
grandfathers then.
with a male with my male counterpart, because I should
Maybe
not be.
today we need
The
more
society is such, it's conditioned that way. Either you're going to fight it or you will accept it. We have all accepted it. Where we get a chance to ask, we ask, and that's what I'm doing here. At least I'm in a place and a position. I'm on a table. I'm on a seat where I can ask that question. And you can give me your answers. I will argue with you, but, well, I can't question what the society is conditioned to be. Sad part, right? But Dilip Cherian, as a brand guru, do you see that disparity even after the top woman, female actor, top male actor, the disparity, the way both of them are treated in every profession? Are you seeing that disparity glaring?
You know, unless it is some kind of government parity exercise, it really depends on the sponsors and the kinds of companies who want to sell to cricketers. And the end of the day, it really depends on how much they appeal to the consumer. So if you're going to make this a benchmark of whether it should be a female or a male game, I think that's unfair. There will be lots of new products who will want women to endorse them. And that is what we are looking for. If that happens strongly enough, if the market creates the demand, if women continue to watch the game, if the numbers ramp up, the branding and the kind of space for them and the payment for them will also become on par.
Now, okay, give me an example of tennis. Do you believe that in tennis, the women and the male cricket icons get paid similar?
They don't. And the fact is that this is true in athletics. This is true in almost all the sports.
So are you really telling me, Dilip Cherian, that women don't really watch tennis enough to be funding the game enough?
I don't think so. And also the kind of products that tennis sells. See, you got to look at the market. Unless it is some kind of subsidy system, the markets decide this. If the markets don't play in male models enough for fragrances or for fashion, women buy it more. It depends really on the product and the consumer push and the kind of volume of sales that is driven by influencing a particular market segment. Products which are designed for women
Okay,
will have that advantage.
Okay, I get that. Well, I get that point. Does it sit well with you that the Indian women's cricket team got paid 50 crores? Great start, because that's never happened before. 51 crores also very big, but the men's cricket team got 100 odd crores. Of course, they get a lot more business, but that disparity from the part of the BCCI itself.
Given that I'm at dinner with one of the board members of the BCCI, I tell you this much, that there was a lot of debate on it, and the fact that it was 51 was criticized by many people in the board. But as I said from the beginning, I think what you need to compare is what was the last amount paid out. And I think this is a signal that more wins are on the way and bigger payments will be on the way. Will it be parity? I have no answer because I don't know.
Okay, Neeru, who do we blame? Mahavir, what Mahavir is saying, none of it is wrong. He's stating the obvious. We accept the obvious, swallow the bitter pill and move on in life, or we question it. Have we not questioned this enough? Because it seems to be so normalized.
Well, you're right, partly that it is normalized somewhat, and that we tend to get on with whatever happens in women's cricket compared to men's cricket. There's more scrutiny there. There's more questions there. There's more eyeballs there. No doubt about it. But I think it's time that women have started to ask for and earn for more. So, no doubt, as we go ahead, I think the next time they lift a trophy or win a tournament, things would be slightly even better than now.
Like Dilip Cherian said, women don't watch cricket enough. Women's cricket does not bring enough business. Are women to blame for that, or is it that women weren't given a chance? Even though in 1978 it was women's cricket team that held the first women's World Cup in India, and it went unnoticed. And since then, though Indian women were the pioneers of it, since then it seemed like after the 80s, the men's team got a lot more focus. So who can we blame anyone for sidelining the women's cricket team altogether? Had they been given that kind of spotlight or attention in the infrastructure, they would have also been money spinners by 2025. Would it not have happened?
Well, you see, we're talking about 1983, etc., and also women's cricket, 1978 onwards.
Yeah.
But those were different boards at that time. They were not under the BCCI, and they weren't marketed that well enough, and their wins were not that big enough.
Yeah.
Sadly. So yes, there was an issue, and market forces look at all these things while deciding, how much money comes into a particular thing. Having said that, the BCCI's coffers are full enough now. They are overflowing, and pay parity, or even, let's say, giving better amounts. This is a start, I feel, but it can only get better from here. It shouldn't get less than this. It'll only get more. The women, if they continue performing, will get more and more, or should get more and more.
Okay. Finally, Mahavir, yeah, we'll take your word on this. What is this? What change does this bring? The perception? How are we looking at differently the Indian cricket team now?
So again, I would not get into comparison, because we have enough of comparison, and by comparing the victories, we are just taking a little bit shine away from a women's team. Let's understand the kind of Australian team they have defeated, the record chase that they have done. I'm very happy for one of my close friends, Amol Majumdar, because he was the coach of, he wanted to be in an Indian men's system, but then there was no place in him, so he was given Indian women's system, and now he has become a very successful coach over there. The way Anjum Chopra celebrated, Mithali Raj celebrated, the way Julan Goswami was there. They were obviously on a broadcast duty over there, but they all were part of that winning team. So this just tells you that it's just the journey, and even they were not a part of the team, they were celebrating the cup as if they have won it. So let's not go 1978, because I'm sure we would not be under They were playing under different kind of boards. The different people were taking care of it. It was an unorganized sector, women's cricket. So now after 2006, if you go for the last 19 years, the progress is much, much more phenomenal. BCCI has taken care of it. And as Neeruji said, the facility they get, the brands that they are getting are exceptional. And there's a very good movie called Shashank Redemption. And in that, there's a dialogue that hope is a very good thing. And with this victory, we hope that, there are many young girls in this country who are playing. If you go to all the cricket grounds in this Delhi, at least where I go to play, there are now girls coming to play, which was, there were one or two centers where girls used to play.
Correct.
Now there are at least 15 centers where the girls are playing, not only in Delhi, but across country, which is very, very good thing. And which just promises to be a great future for women's cricket.
Absolutely. Neeru, also my question, adding up to that is now the selection process. You have the men's cricket, usually they're selected from remote areas. There's such it's so streamlined and done so right. Is that a start also for the women's team now? Is that how it's going to be henceforth?
That started. Only the thing is that the talent pool has to increase to be selected from. Right now, there are limitations. Compared to the number of boys who are playing, there's a selection policy in place. There are selectors, selection committees in place at the state level, at the national level. And same is for the women's also. There is a national selection committee. But the only thing is the talent pool in the women's cricket is still not as big as the men's. That is a fact.
Right.
And therefore, there are limitations in picking and choosing. But the girls are coming through, and they're coming through at a very young age. Jemima Rodrigues came through at the age of 15 or 16. Harmanpreet came in very early at the age of 17. Mithali Raj came in, broke through the Indian team at a very young age. So the girls are coming through pretty young and early, and we have a system in place, but it just needs to be strengthened.
All right. I think it's a start, and we'll leave it at that. And what's the takeaway from all of this is the South African actress, Thanja. She came out today, slamming her own country, saying, that's the lady on our screens, you see, I'm so proud of India and Indian men's cricket team for cheering for their women's cricket team so hard and so much, for showing up at the stadium, for shaking hands with them and wishing them all the best before they started off. That's the kind of motivation we hoped we got. It's so sad that none of these South African icons showed up at the stadium. Even the sports minister didn't come to watch the match. Forget anything else. So if a country like South Africa, who's endorsed cricket, one of the best cricketing countries, the women there feel that way, then I think India has come a long way. So I'm going to take that as a consolatory note here today and end this show. Thanks very much, Mahavir, Ms. Neeru and Dilip Cherian for joining us.